Welcome back to Off-Grid Rookies. We thought we would share some of the backstory of us, our property, and also talk about some of the next big projects for the upcoming year.
For those of you who haven't been here before, we are two Swedes with a love of nature and a lifelong dream of self-sufficiency.
After many years of saving and searching, we recently found the property we had dreamed of for so many years.
This summer, we sold most of our belongings and gave up our rental apartment in the city to move into our old camper.
We now live on a campsite closer to our property, making it easier to work on developing the homestead. The land has been inhabited for at least a few centuries, but has slowly deteriorated since the 1940s.
We don't yet have road access to it, but it's a work in progress. Until then, we're building what we can on foot.
The property is mostly forest, but about 5 acres were previously used for grazing and cultivation, as seen on old maps from the 1800s and even partially in aerial photos from the 1960s. These pine trees are only about 60 to 70 years old.
In Sweden, a lot of old meadow and farmland has been replaced by production forest. In our county, 83% of the land area is forest. Forests are incredible in many ways, but meadows and small-scale farming are also important for both wildlife and people.
Our plan is to leave the old forest as it is, while restoring part of the meadowland that once existed.
Last summer we prepared a 250 square meter garden plot, where we hope to grow a large portion of our future food. The fence is necessary to keep out the moose and roe deer. This spring we also plan to put up netting.
We started out with this project to ensure we wouldn't miss the chance for our first growing season.
Before the frost set in, we turned half of the garden plot and covered it with leaves to hopefully create a soil suitable for hardier crops in the first growing season.
This spring we're expecting a lot of garden work, whether it leads to a bountiful harvest, crop failures, or a mix of both.
The workshop will be the first real building we've ever constructed. It will be a small and simple 24 square meter structure.
Its primary purpose is to store the tools needed for farming and forestry work.
Our kind neighbors gave us an old wood stove, which we plan to install in the workshop. This way we'll have a warm and dry place to spend the night and cook meals when we're working on the property.
Jag tänkte på själva golvbjälklaget. Om man gör på det viset att vi gör 2 meters längder så här och använder oss av beslag som man hänger upp på, då följer vi egentligen som man brukar göra, som jag har fattat det som. Och då finns det ju enkla guider på det liksom.
Det vi har sågat upp nu är för...
Det är...
Den biten.
Ja, precis 3 meter.
Så vi har sågat 2 av dem egentligen. Så vi har en bärlina ändå. Ja,
det har vi. Så ska vi börja göra 2 bärlinor till.
Och det var de dimensioner du ville ha på dem också.
Ja, precis. Vi har följt standard där.
Ja, det är jättebra. Då ska vi ju elda dem också.
Ja, men du hade ju någon nice idé förra gången när du la typ en så här stubbe. Eller liksom en V-klabbe så att det här kunde rulla. Som rullade över så.
Ja.
Så får vi vända på den. For the workshop, we plan to use lumber from our own trees to keep the costs down and to make use of the resources that we have available.
We need to fell a few trees to make room for the workshop. For every tree we cut, we saw it into lumber and set it aside to dry.
Part of this tree will become beams for the foundation, while the rest will probably be used for paneling.
There are about 10 trees that need to be felled if we are to have enough space for the workshop. Some of the trees will be better suited for turning into lumber than others. In any case, it's a perfect opportunity to make the most of them. About a year ago I felled my first tree, and working in the forest is something I enjoy more and more as I do it. Sooner or later I'll probably end up with a hang-up tree, and then we'll just have to see it as a learning experience. This time it went well. En, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Ja, det är knappt 70 år.
Mm. Men det är vad vi har räknat med också ändå. Det låter rimligt. Moving the logs is more challenging from this location due to the slight uphill slope of the ground. Det går bättre för dig att köra själv med den här egentligen. Aj, hur gick det för dig? Hur gick det med handen?
Jag satte handen på kroken och den är inte så vass, men jag skar upp mig ändå.
Jag är lite runt om bara.
Ja. Men det där kommer ju underlätta jättemycket.
Ja, det tror jag. Transporting the logs is a significant part of the work, and we are figuring out ways to streamline the process. Nej, men inte nu.
Nej, men jag filmar bara ditt huvud typ.
Nej.
Var det kallt?
Ja, det var det.
Thank you for watching, take care and see you in 2025.
Den var bra.
Ja, jag tror det.
En liten startning, men det var fortfarande bra.